Hey there, you guys. It's Petey, and I just want to catch you up with the day that I had. So I won an auction for a Spark Mini. Paid way more than I wanted to. So we're getting this shipped to us for 40 USD. Then for 25, we got this with a stand. So I'm going to be talking about these values. I had 3 hours to go. This Spark Mini is a modeling amp, and it's modern. It's really good modeling. So they're $230 for that tiny little amp, but it's supposed to have this phenomenal sound on it. You can pull it up on your phone and change the amp and the pedals and everything. It's got everything in it. And it's supposed to, like, it's highly reviewed thing, relatively new. Now, I had also recently got this for like 20, and this is a $150 or $130 thing. It's got AA batteries. You plug it into the computer and it does the modeling. There's no memory though, so you have to have it tethered to the computer, and there's like a little bit of lag. I don't know. I think it worked better when the original software was still. They canceled the software for this, and I didn't know that. I bought it thinking I was going to be able to like program it with sounds. No, it's got clean, drive, and then lead, which is like a modern distortion. There's a 3-band EQ, gain, volume. There's headphone, auxiliary input, your 1/4 inch in, and then there's a speaker out. So I love this thing. Now, I'm not playing through it that much. I use it more for testing speakers, testing stuff. It's a really good sounding little amp. And it doesn't have the modeling. And that's why I got the other one. So it's like, oh well. Now, I had 3 hours to go. And one of the problems, like, okay, I also should tell you guys, I've got two little amps. I got a monitor amp here. It's an Anchor AN100, and that's got a 2-band EQ with a tweeter. And then there's another amp that I built in a Roland Microcube chassis, and it's got an oval Alnico speaker. And there's a multi-effector that sits under this little shelf here. So I got one click switch to turn this on, and this cable here goes to that NUX MG300. So I have the 300, and then I have the NUX MG30, which is the way nicer one. But they both sound, the 300, it sounds almost as good as the 30, but the 30 blows it away. Now the 300, there's not a bad sound in it. No matter how you program it, everything just sounds great. The 30 is a little bit more difficult to program. So I love the sounds in the NUX, and I have them running to this. There's two stereo amps here. So the echoes ping pong because they're stereo, they bounce back and forth. And then there's an additional output, and that runs over to my audio interface. So it's a really handy setup for me to have this here. And I don't know when the Spark, who makes that Spark? Positive Grid. They had this software called Bias. It was some pretty good modeling software. But like I said, I don't, like, the logical thing for me would be, okay, keep the Spark here. Well, I don't think I want to do that. I think it's going to be more of a floater, and I can use it with my phone. I may even use it at the remote. I could run it on my 100-watt amp, use it as the preamp for it. So we got to see. Right now, I'm running a dual guitar rig, which is like wet, dry, wet. So I have the NUX MG30. There's a splitter box that I built, an active split with a battery in it. So the guitar cable goes into this splitter. There's 3 jacks, an in and 2 outs. So the one out goes to the stereo setup. The other out goes to this mono center channel amp, and I'm running a Zoom G3. The old, not the G3N, the old G3, which I like better than the new one. So I went through and programmed that thing, and it's like basically, you know, um, cleanish Fender and Vox sounds, and then some ultra modern high gain for when I get dirty. So I could always bring this little mini and have that as the instead of this Zoom, and then do stuff with my phone. I don't know. Does the Spark have presets, or do you have to program it for each sound? Probably have to program it for each sound. I don't know how that works. I'm guessing the mini, you have to program it. Maybe the bigger ones might have a memory bank. But I was really disappointed with that iRig amp. So that's something, if you watch this video, now you'll know, stay away from that iRig. If you think you're going to use it to save modeling presets in it, it doesn't do that. It works like an interface. So if you have the USB micro cable plugged into it, it gets latent though. I don't know. I didn't like using it with the Amplitude software. I really didn't. At that point, I'm using headphones. I'm not using a little micro amp. So the main thing I've been up against is with the remote. Like I've got everything nailed down, and I'm trying to finalize this rig. It's been like an unbelievable path quest going back to when I first had the idea to play outdoors to now, like I'm done. And we have this setup that's awesome. Now if I could get some 12-inch PA speakers and get rid of the 10s, maybe beef up the mains. I don't know. I'm also thinking, could I run a pair of 8s like floor monitors, or just additional speakers along with the 10s, because I have Behringer 10s. And the thing that has been the main problem for years is I only have one legitimate Proline brand speaker stand. So it's one speaker stand, and the other one, when the wind blows, it's all it's like the legs are short. They're really short legs for the bass, and then it's got like a stick with tape on it where you jam the stick in there. Then there's a tube from like a lawn furniture that I painted that black because it was white, and then that's the speaker stand. I keep that one over by Gopti because it's kind of rickety when the wind blows. And it's like a 30 kilogram or whatever speaker. It's not light. So I've been looking to just get a single speaker stand. And like there was a guy who said he had 3 of them and they were $10 each. And I'm like, can I just get one? And he's like, I only have one left. And I was like, well, I'm going to meet you. And then he was like, hold on. And then I'm like, you told me hold on 90 minutes ago. I'm still waiting. What's up? And he's like, I'm busy right now. I'll call you later. And I'm like, I got shit to do too, buddy. And then the ad disappeared and he like blocked me or whatever. So anyway, I've been looking at PA speakers and I've been looking at stands for 3 years, like every day of my life, going on Facebook Marketplace, going on Craigslist, going on eBay, going on the other online auction sites that I know of. It's never ending. And today I knew I had to be here at 10:30 because I was going to have to battle a guy to get this Spark, the Positive Grip mini amp. I knew someone was going to come in at the last minute, like try to outbid me, and he did. That's why I ended up having to pay $40 for it. But hey, I outbid him, and he was an idiot for not going a little higher because the thing is worth $230. That's what they sell for retail. Anyway, I got this in my head. You got to be here. And I'm like, I'm going to go over and check Facebook Marketplace because there was some guy in the city, and I was like, can you come a little closer with these speakers? They were 10s, and I already have 10s. They're kind of big. I don't know if we could have fit them in the car. So up pops this ad. When I went over there, I had 3 hours till I had to be here for the bid on the Spark Mini. This ad was 27 minutes old. It was the first ad that came up under PA speakers, and it said, PA system, $25. And it had a picture of a stand. So I was like, when I got on there, I was like, does it come with the stand? And the lady's like, yes. Well, no, it was like 8 minutes later. Yes. So then she's like doing this thing where I'm like, why won't you answer? Like, I've set up the meet. I'm like, I'm going to come. I just need your address. And she comes back. There's a bunch of people contacting me about it. So can you please be patient and hold tight or something? Stand by, please. So I wait like an hour goes by and I'm flipping out because I had a whole like fight or flight thing happen. Like when I get weird about these online auctions, like I get really, a lot of brain chemistry gets released and I'm like, so yeah, I was geeking and tweaking. And finally she's like, you know that the mixer is broken, right? It's like $25 for the stand. 2 PA, they're little. They're like 8-inch drivers, which is perfect for us. So I'm thinking, I bet one of the drivers is blown. So finally she sets it up and I go down there and it's this farmhouse. We're knocking on the door and nobody's home. So I went next door and I told the woman and she's like, what was the name of the person? And I'm like, I don't remember. Let me go ask my wife. So I come back and she's like, the guy's here. He's giving music lessons to some kid. You're early. And I'm like, we were maybe like maximum 5 minutes early. And we had to drive like, we were doing 80 on the highway all the way out. Like, this is far. Because I got to come back to be there for the auction. So finally he comes out and they're in a carry kit, like a zipper case. Like it's got a case. And he's like, I'll get this end. Because everything on it's broken. All the handles and it's all busted off. I'm like, oh my goodness. So we get this thing home and I'll show you on the desktop. I've got pictures here. They're 8-inch drivers with compression and they're really good speakers. These aren't junky PA speakers. They're good. I start thinking, I wonder if just the power amp section of this is blown and all the preamp stuff and the mixer works. So I plug this thing in, turn it on, and the lights come on. I feed it signal from my test oscillator, and sure enough, bingo Johnny. I plug my iRig amp out of one of the line outs and I'm getting everything. I'm getting treble cut, bass cut, pan, and reverb. Which the reverb is but it's not bad. It's more like echo. So we test the PA speakers. All of the drivers work. And the compression horns sound phenomenal. So we are going to be running those 8s along with my Behringer 10s. They'll be a matching set. I have another set of 8s here. I have a Das Strecken. It's a German speaker, and yeah, that's not good. I didn't do that because I'm approving of that. It's like $500 little 8-inch speaker, and I bought a Rockville like an $80 8-inch PA speaker to go with it, and they sounded identical. I couldn't tell them apart. So I don't know about that German engineering on that one. So anyway, what I'm excited about is I disassembled the mixer, and when I got in there, I saw the corner, a black piece of plastic that was broken off at an angle. And that was a component that had blown up on like one of the larger heat sinks. And I looked it up, Yamaha Stage PA 300. See, they have these are like, I think these are the power amp modules, maybe. So when these blow out, you can just replace these, or the MOSFETs, I don't know. Anyway, one of the posts mentioned that right there. TOP 249YN. So do you see that? I'll put my finger where it is. On the heat sink, there's that black chip that's right here. It's right. This right here. That. There's two of these, and the one was broken in half. It was gone. Actually, I found it in here. The top half of it had blown off, and I found two other people reporting the similar thing, that there's the power amp stopped working, and that's what it was. So I looked at there was a couple other videos of people talking about how they had serviced it and where theirs had failed. I know that the fans, there's two cooling fans. It's really cool how they do it. There's one here and then another one here with some vents on it. So it must, like, work that way. Anyway, my confidence is so high. I went through with this, and the fastener where you go in, there's stuff in the way. So I sideballed it. I went in from the side and on the screw and unscrewed it from the side I got the screw out, and then there's 6 legs for the component for the IC chip, and those are all right here. Where's my finger? Yep. You see them? There's 2, and then above it, there's 4. So yeah, those 2, see those 2 right there? And then the 4 right above it. That's what I unsoldered today. Basically, it's a little black plastic package, and it's got a screw on the top. So I unscrewed that, pulled the screw in the It's got some washers on there. Put all that stuff in a baggie, and then I leaned it forward, and I went in with the snips, and I cut off the legs at the base, so the top piece just came off. So then I had the 6 legs, and they're bent. Like they're coming off the board, they come like this, and then they come over and go up into the thing. So you bend them over so they're all kind of sitting straight up. And then how I would do it was I would have the PCB like this. My wife would come in with the needle nose and grab one of the pins, and then I would have the soldering iron, and I would put the solder on the iron so it had a drop of solder on it, and then I would touch it to the pin, and that solder would move over and surround it, and then it would cook it, and she would pull it out. When we had that finished, there was 6 holes. Well, they're all full of solder, and that's when you use the desoldering braid, which is this. It's called Goot Wick, and it's like a braided copper wire that's braided into a piece of like tape that's 1.5 millimeters or 3 millimeters wide, depending on what you get. I use the thin stuff for this, and what I like to do with that is I'll take my Goot Wick and I'll bend it down like a little L. And then where that L is, I'll put paste flux on it, and I'll drop the L down onto where the hole is, and then I'll put the soldering iron and just lightly press on it. Try not to overcook it, and you just keep doing that. Every time you do it, you will foul the Goot Wick, meaning some more solder will come and suck up into it, and then you use a nail clipper and cut that piece, the fouled piece off. And you do it on both sides of the board, and then when you'll start to see eventually, you've pulled solder to the point where it's just the hole, and you could like take a needle if you want, play around like that, or if you're cleaning the iron and then sticking it on there, some of the solder will stick to the actual head of the iron. So this is what I will end up with is it's a little bit messy because I use the flux. So I apply cotton swab with rubbing alcohol and clean it all up. And then I special ordered the components, and those should be oh boy. Those should be coming in from I ordered them. I actually got them from AliExpress, which I know a lot of people would be leery about that, but the price difference was $3 for 5 versus $17 for 1, and then having to pay additional shipping. So it looks like I'm just going to have to replace the one. I saw some other video and other information where the guy was showing other areas where the components had failed. This thing has been inspected. There's capacitors that are marked on it. When you see capacitors that have markings on them, that means that they're good, or that they were when that person who went through it checked them. So this thing had been serviced already, but my confidence is really high that I'm going to get that thing going. So yeah, we got the speaker stand that we got, the screw on the bottom where you tighten the main tripod 3 legs. That was not good. But there was another screw with another set, identical hardware. I flip-flopped those and put the crappy one up high. And the crappy one was a smaller diameter, and it was only stripped at the end, so it actually grabbed when I switched them. So the guy, whoever had this, the guy was like, you could have, if you would have just taken a minute to look at it, maybe you would have figured that you could try switching them, and it actually then both of them worked fine. but there was a big zipper, a black tote bag that the speakers fit into. And our kit, Kita, goes nuts for cases. Like when we play, my wife will put her bass case on the ground and he crawls in it. He loves going in cases, especially if they're black. So this is a huge, it's like, it could not be better for him because it's big. It's like big enough for two. And they don't look like eights. On the outside of it, they're as big as my tens. So if you know what tens are, a pair of tens could fit in this. So it's like a kiddie corral. He can go in it. And he went completely bananas. We threw a squirmel toy in there, and he was all, like totally satanic ill will. He hissed at my wife. He was just like flipping around and clawing at the air and just gnashing of teeth. His eyes were all red. He was all in his little house, just thrashing in there. So we got keep this kitty corral, because we're not using that to put those speakers on. We're just going to carry the speakers. We got the two speakers. The mixer works. The power amp doesn't work. So I could use this. It's exactly what we need with an extra stereo pair channel. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that have the XLR ports and the preamps, and then there's 5, 6, 7, 8, which are the stereo pairs. So yeah, we could take these little speakers and let me see, is there some other kind of output? Yeah, there's another output that I could run for the subwoofer as well. I have a little bass EQ pedal that I can run as a low pass filter. So like I said, I spent a little bit of money today, not a real lot of money. Total of $65. And we've got that Spark Mini. I think I solved my speaker issue, and we got this. I don't have to keep looking every day for the speaker stand. So I was just a total red letter day for me. I'll be back in a couple of weeks when the parts arrive and I've gotten this thing going or not, and I'll let you guys know. More than likely what I'll do if it works, when I get done soldering it in, I'll probably do a test, and I'll probably at that moment have my wife grab the camera and be like, I fixed it, before I even button it all up, make the video. So like I said, sometimes with this stuff, when one thing is bad, there'll be another thing that's bad too. But I know that I read people had said that they had one and it's had the same symptoms, and it was that same thing. Multiple people said that this part, when they opened it up, there was another half of it bouncing around in there. So this, obviously they go bad. Anyway, you guys, I was so excited about getting this stand, these speakers, and this Spark Mini. I had to tell you guys about it. So it was a red letter day for PETEY. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, knowing now that I've got these. Huh?
I'm just laughing at you. Sorry.
In what world do you live in where you're just like, I don't want to play these songs. Like, he just tells me what to play and I play it.
It has nothing to do with me
must
laughing
be
at
nice.
you for saying you're going to sleep like a baby because you don't have to worry about it.
I know somebody else who's going to sleep like a baby in the kitty corral
Psycho boy.
after he hissed at you. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Hug your pets. In peace.